Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today I'm going to be doing an overview and demonstration of the most aesthetically over-the-top Telecaster that I have ever owned, and that is this guitar. This is a Ishibashi Music, a guitar store in Japan, Fender Special Run, traditional 60s Telecaster with a quilted maple top in what appears to be hot pink and an ash body. Man, this is going to be a fun one. I've already been playing this guitar. We're going to start off by putting this guitar on the bench, checking the weight, going over some of the more in-depth specifications, and then getting right to some sound samples. So, let's get into that. When I saw the announcement for this Fender Special Run for Ishibashi Music, the first thing that jumped out to me was absolutely the quilted maple top here. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. Not traditional for a Telecaster whatsoever, but it's got this amazing 3D quality in person that is just to die for. You do have a perlite pickguard, two vintage style Telecaster pickups with cloth wiring, traditional 3-saddle bridge with a threaded steel, 3-way toggle switch, 1 volume, 1 tone, no push-pulls, no other nonsense. It's straight up Telecaster in that sense. They saved all the fanciness for the finish. And as you can see, the top here has binding on it, but if we flip over to the side of the instrument, there is no binding on the bottom. And this was actually a deliberate design choice from Fender Japan. The reason for that, they wanted you to be able to see this beautiful ash back without any other kind of impedance to it, and I actually appreciate that decision because I do think it makes it look a lot classier not having the binding as well on the back. As much as I love double bound Telecasters, I think it matches this guitar and what they're going for so well because it's just such a lovely wood grain, the ash. It is a 2-piece back, and the guitar is also finished in a polyurethane. Now shifting our focus onto the neck here, nothing too extreme like the body, but it is a mix between vintage and modern specifications. The fret wire is vintage sized. However, the fingerboard radius is a 9.5, which is the modern equivalent. On the actual neck shape itself, the profile is labeled as a U, but it feels, because of the shoulder to me, a little bit more like a chunky C, and I'm a big fan of that. You also have a bone nut. Let's go ahead and let's check out the frets. Now the frets are almost perfectly level. They have a really nice feel. There's no sharp edges on any of that. And it just goes to show, once again, the people at Fender Japan really genuinely have pride in their work. They are not just out here to make a bunch of guitars, as many as they can in a day, just to hit sales quotas or any of that. There is a real sense of pride, and they will not let things that are not up to their standard out the door. I realize this is a Fender Special Run, but it's no different whenever I have in a new production model from Fender Japan, and they're just the best when it comes to this stuff. Whether you love this guitar or hate this guitar in general, as far as receiving a quality product that you don't immediately need to do fretwork on or immediately need to bring to somebody to do fretwork on if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, this is exceptional. And finally, at the back of the guitar, you do have vintage style tuners, and you do have a poly finish, which is not too thick on the back of the neck. And again, really beautiful grain on both the neck and the ash body itself. Now, I don't feel like there's too much I need to add after that previous segment. This is an exceptionally good looking guitar that was really well thought out as far as the design goes, and I love it. However, if you're not the biggest fan of the pink, but you like everything else, they also make it in a dark blue. So just keep that in mind. For the sound demonstrations, we're going to be using the Tone King Gremlin on the rhythm channel. For our driven sounds, we'll be using the Benson preamp, and for a little bit of ambience, delay / reverb, we'll be using the Strymon Volante. If you are enjoying this video or any of the videos on this channel and you have not already, I ask you to please consider hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. By doing so, it enables other people to potentially have me pop up on their feeds for the first time and maybe become like you and check out videos like this and learn all about these crazy Japanese guitars that I am so in love with. But that out of the way, let's get right into some sound samples. Now for me, the Fender Telecaster is the gold standard of electric guitars because of the simplicity, the sound, the feel of the instrument. How well does this one live up to all of those things that I know and love about the model in general? The feel is amazing. It just feels like butter in my hands. The neck shape, it is labeled again as a U, but it's not super thick, but it tapers very well up the fingerboard. It's very comfortable. If you're somebody who likes a shredder neck though, you might want to look elsewhere. This is by no means a thin neck in that sense. No fretting out or anything like that. That's one of the perks of using a modern radius on the guitars, but I think it rings out really well with the stock saddles on it. I'm not always the biggest fan of these traditional steel saddles. I prefer the Callahan compensated saddles, whether they're steel or brass. Maybe we'll try and experiment later on, but as far as capturing the Telecaster tone, especially on the bridge pickup, the combination of the two, stellar. Absolutely nailed it. If I had to give a kind of criticism, so to speak, as far as the sound of this instrument goes, I did not love the neck pickup on this guitar, but that's not unique to this guitar. There are not many neck pickups on Telecasters from the factory that I truly love, with the exception being the Fender Custom Shop aftermarket. You have plenty of options. I already know where I'm going, and you already know where I'm going if you follow this channel, and that would be a set of Lindy Fralins, and you'd be all set to go. Nothing else on this guitar screams deficient or maybe I need to tinker with or replace parts. They really nailed everything on this instrument. Last thing I want to talk about is about this guitar, and kind of an intangible thing that is really, really hard to put a finger on, but I'm going to try my best to do it anyways. The other day I posted a video with this guitar before I even made this demo of it because I just felt something when I was playing it that inspired me to play differently. It made me want to try more effects and stuff like that, and not every guitar does that for me. Is this necessarily the best guitar I have because it did that? Absolutely not. But when you find an instrument that really does coax something else out of you, that's something pretty cool. This guitar initially was not purchased for me to be as a player, more of an investment because look at it. And I know that there's not many being made, but I think this might find a little bit more playtime in the rotation than I had anticipated. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys after I do my little thank yous and go play your guitars with a clip of a proper recording of the riff that I played the other day using the Strymon Volante, very ambient, but the camera audio absolutely didn't do it justice. So before we get into that, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to play your guitar. I really enjoy this one. I hope you really enjoy yours as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.